Welcome to the explainer. Okay, let's just jump right in. What if your smartphone camera could actually do the impossible? Well, Xiaomi just dropped a device that claims to do exactly that. And honestly, it might completely change how you think about taking photos with your phone. Let's break it down.
But before we get into the tech, let's talk about a problem I'm pretty sure every single one of us has had. You know the scene, you're watching this amazing firework display, you pull out your phone to capture the magic, and you end up with, well, you know what you end up with.
Yeah, exactly that. A bright, fuzzy blob on a weirdly gray background. And look, there's a really good reason for it. Fireworks are basically a photographer's worst nightmare. You get these super intense bursts of light, they're moving incredibly fast, and it's all set against a pitch black sky. It's the perfect recipe for a terrible photo.
This exact challenge, what they're calling the firework problem, is what Xiaomi decided to tackle head-on. And it's the perfect way for us to understand the crazy new technology we're about to get into.
And here is Xiaomi's solution. On the left, yeah, that's the blurry mess we all know and hate. But on the right, that's a photo from the new Xiaomi 17 Ultra. They're calling this thing the new night god. And you can totally see why. The difference is just staggering. Every single spark is defined because the sensor isn't getting overwhelmed. The colors are brilliant, and the sky is actually black, not some noisy, washed-out gray.
So the big question is, how in the world did they pull this off? This isn't just some clever software filter. As we're about to see, the answer has to do with some really fundamental physics.
This was their mantra, the philosophy they kept repeating during the whole launch event. The idea was, instead of just using software to try and fix a bad photo after you've taken it, they wanted to build a system that captures a nearly perfect image right from the start.
And this is a really important point. This was not a small, incremental update. To solve this problem using pure optics, they had to basically go back to the drawing board. They had to completely re-engineer the two most crucial components of any camera, the main sensor and the telephoto zoom lens.
Okay, so let's dig into the first of those two big breakthroughs, the main camera. This is the heart of the system, and it got an absolutely massive upgrade. So check this out. They're calling it the LYT Light Master Sensor. It's a brand new 1-inch sensor, which is already huge for a phone, but get this, it can absorb 6.3 times more light than the last model. That number is insane. It directly attacks that core issue of dynamic range. You know, the camera's ability to see details in the brightest brights and the darkest darks at the same time. This doesn't just fix firework photos, it's a game changer for any tricky lighting, like a sunset.
So having a fantastic main camera is great, but that's really only half the story. What happens when you actually want to zoom in on something far away? Well, that brings us to the second innovation. And honestly, this one might be even more revolutionary.
It's called continuous optical zoom. Now, what that actually means is that the telephoto lens can physically move its glass element inside the phone. This gives you true, perfect, lossless quality across a whole range of zoom, not just at one or two fixed points like pretty much every other phone. The way they explained it is just brilliant. And this lays it out perfectly. Think of most phones as having a couple of prime lenses. They have a few sweet spots like 2x or 5x where the quality is amazing. But if you zoom to say 3.5x, you're just digitally cropping, which means you're throwing away quality. The Xiaomi 17 Ultra, though, it's like having a real professional zoom lens. The quality is perfect everywhere in its range. No cropping, no quality lost. Every single focal length is real.
So you've got this incredible new light-eating sensor, and you've got this game-changing zoom lens. Now, what happens when you filter all of that amazing tech through the soul of one of the most legendary camera brands in history? I'm talking about Leica.
This is what you get, a special edition of the phone, co-created with Leica from the very beginning. And the goal here wasn't just to make a phone that takes amazing pictures, it was to change how you feel when you're taking them. It's all about bringing that iconic, hands-on Leica experience to a smartphone.
And we're not just talking about a logo slapped on the back. The whole design is inspired by classic Leica cameras. It's got the famous red dot, of course. But the real showstopper, the thing that totally changes the experience, is that physical master zoom ring. It's an actual dial around the camera that you can turn to control your zoom, your focus, your exposure, just like on a real professional camera. It's all about getting that tactile, hands-on connection back.
And this quote from the launch, it really just sums up the whole idea perfectly. The goal is to make the technology so good, so intuitive that it just disappears, you know? It leaves you completely free to just focus on creating. It closes that gap between the idea in your head and the picture you take. All right, so let's pull all of this together.
Let's take a step back and think about what this all means for that little device we all carry around in our pockets every single day. When you lay it all out, you can see this clear three-step journey they took. First, they mastered light with that incredible new sensor. Step 2, they perfected zoom by getting rid of digital cropping for good. And then, step 3, with the Leica edition, they bridged the gap between a smartphone and a pro camera, not just in picture quality, but in the actual feeling of using it.
Which, of course, leaves us with a pretty wild question. For years, the debate has always been, can a phone replace a real camera? But when the technology gets this good, when the lines get this blurry, maybe we're asking the wrong question. Maybe the real question now is, what's a camera even for anymore?